What's up with Roger Craig?
What's up with Roger Craig? Roger Craig.
Daniel Craig. Damn it. Let's start things off with the worst dressed James Bond ever. Who owns this title? I'm giving it to Timothy Dalton. Now, Timothy Dalton, we saw him in two movies, The Living Daylights and A License to Kill. Now, to Dalton's credit, in the movie The Living Daylights, he actually had some good combinations. We see a nice three-piece suit. He's got a tan suit. He even chooses some pretty good sports jackets. But in the movie License to Kill, somebody should have killed the wardrobe department. What is up with this fit? Now I get it. Timothy Dalton is a victim of the 1980s. We saw Armani suits coming in. Everything was oversized. Everything was loose fit. But come on, we had history here and we had some great examples. And this is a perfect example of when an actor and the costume department fall into the time period. And besides the heavy shoulder pads, let's look at the choice of colors. A lot of pastels. Apparently, whoever was in the wardrobe department here, they were watching Miami Vice and they thought, oh, that's great. Let's bring this into James Bond. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, what about black tie? Timothy Dalton got that right. Not exactly. Again, look at the fit of the jacket. Look at how deep down that V goes. Guys, this is not a classic look. And overall, I have to give the title of the worst dressed James Bond to Timothy Dalton. So coming in at number 2 on our list of the worst dressed James Bond, we've got George Lazenby. If you've never heard of this guy, that's okay. He only played in one movie, the shortest tenure ever of a 007. And he's got a really interesting story of how he got the role, but let's talk about actually what he did right. He's got some good outfit combinations. Look at that three-piece suit right there. I thought that was nice. Good choice of tie, went with a knitted tie, and the fit is spot on. This double-breasted jacket combination in navy, again, really nice, good-looking tie with a bit of contrast. The fit is spot on. Let's look at that cream linen suit. Again, looks really nice. Then we'll look at that tuxedo in midnight blue. That's a classic choice of color. Midnight blue is actually darker than black, a perfect choice. But this is where we start to see some of the mistakes. The ruffles. The ruffles on that tuxedo and that shirt right there, that combination, oh my gosh. Now, George really liked the ruffles. Let's look at this other combination. Now, I think that's cool that he's wearing a kilt, and even though it's a disguise, but what is up with all the ruffles? I get it, but man, this just nowadays, you look at this and you wonder, what was he thinking? And let's talk about that all brown golf suit with an orange turtleneck. An interesting combination, but the women's bathrobe incident. Guys, this is what put him this high on the worst dressed list. Next up, we've got Roger Moore, the so-called lover James Bond. Actually, I really enjoy this guy as James Bond, but he did make some questionable choices. Now, overall, I love that he brought in a lot of just different things that we hadn't seen before, such as the safari suit. This is right here is a classic piece of menswear. He brought it back. Some people think it's been a bit dated. I actually still like a safari suit. I think it's a great option as a sports jacket. You wear this, you're going to stand out from the crowd. When it comes to black tie, when it comes to formal attire, Roger Moore did a great job. When it comes to either wearing a white jacket or a black jacket, he's got it covered. And let's look at his casual wear choices. I really like his safari shirts. And then we go over and we look at something like a simple dark colored turtleneck. Or we go over and we look at some of his other choices, bringing in vests, bringing in different combinations. Again, when we look at his casual choices, his clothing fits him pretty darn well. Now, the reason that Roger Moore isn't higher up on this list is a lot of his fits and a lot of his suit choices haven't aged well. Now, the tracksuit, actually, that's back in fashion, so you could say he was even a trendsetter. But let's look at the Moonraker jumpsuit. Okay, free pass on that one. But this jean suit, I know, it was the height of the 1970s, and he actually looks pretty good in it, but man, just you need to be James Bond to be able to pull this thing off. And as I mentioned, fit. Fit is what dates all of Roger Moore's outfits. When we look at this, we see the 1970s. Even when he has some classic combinations. It's those bell bottoms, it's those wide pants. It's just the whole flair that we have there going. Maybe it'll come back, but Roger Moore at this point, yeah, I had to put him as the third worst dressed James Bond. Now, this next James Bond is polarizing. I know a lot of you guys think he should be the best dressed. Many of you think he should be the worst dressed. And if you disagree with my placement of him, let me know down in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. I want to see your ranking of the worst to actually the best dressed James Bond. But coming in as the fourth worst, I guess we could actually, or say third best, however you want to say it, is Daniel Craig. Now, from a style perspective, what I most love about Daniel Craig's James Bond is the wide variety of outfits and situations we've been able to see this actor basically portray the character and just bring us from tons of casual, great looks. That polo in navy, yeah, just a great look, to casual Henleys, to leather jackets. Let's go over and let's look. He's over in Madagascar, so we get to see hot weather. He's up in the mountains. He's over in London. We get to see layered outfits, and that's what I love so much about this character. Now, the big issue a lot of classic style guys have with this James Bond, the fit of his suits. James Bond is known for the suit. You've got to nail the fit, and they look at this as, yeah, 1 to 2 sizes too small. Look at that dreaded X right there on the front of his suit. And I have to agree that he probably could have gone a bit more with a classic style. However, I understand why they did this. Again, it's about the time period. In 2007, 2008, we saw the trend of the close-fitted suit. And the designers, whoever came out, was working on these outfits here, they decided to go with that, for better or worse. Now, if you want to get a better picture of what Daniel Craig would have looked like with a more classic fit as James Bond, check out the movie Knives Out. In this movie, what do we see? Daniel Craig, the same actor, wearing clothing that's got a more casual, a looser fit. Now, you could say, okay, this isn't an exact representation, but it does show that you can have the same guy wear different fits of clothing that are similar and get a different look. And it should be noted that Daniel Craig's James Bond has excellent choice when it comes to watches, when it comes to sunglasses, and always wearing a pocket square. So at this point, we're transitioning into the best dressed James Bond. Coming in at number 2, the second best ever James Bond, we've got the original James Bond, Sean Connery. So the first time we ever see James Bond on the screen is when Sean Connery is playing him in the movie Dr. No. We see the character and he is immaculately dressed in black tie. He's got shawl lapels with a midnight blue tuxedo, just a classic ensemble. Really like this look. And then over in Goldfinger, what do we see? Again, he continues. We've got a gray Glen check 3-piece suit, and we continue throughout that movie to actually see him actually pull off a white dinner jacket. The guy understood what classic style was all about, and he set the standard for every James Bond after it. And Sean Connery, his James Bond, knew how to do casual right. Let's look at him going to the beach in Thunderball. What is he wearing? Linen shirts, swim trunks that fit him appropriately, and espadrilles. So why isn't Sean Connery number 1? Because he's had some incidents. Let's look at the pink tie. What is up with this short pink tie? Doesn't really make much sense. Okay, let's give him a pass on that. But the terry cloth play suit. I mean, it sounds cool, and I guess you're James Bond. You can pull off whatever, but it just looks dated, and man, he really did like that terry cloth. So coming in at the number 1 spot, in my opinion, the best dressed James Bond, Pierce Brosnan. So when I think of James Bond, I think of the gentleman spy that knows how to wear a suit, and this is what Pierce Brosnan did perfectly. He knew how to wear a suit. He knew how to get the fit right. He knew the classic colors, charcoal, navy. He brought in a few Glen Platts. But overall, this guy just nailed it again and again. We look at his black tie. Spot on fit, spot on with the fabric. Every detail he paid attention to. When you see the guy move in the suits, the fit, again, is spot on. And I've talked about the importance of fit. Guys, fit is king. Above all else, this is what Pierce Brosnan nailed. And let's not forget his casual wear choices, from leather jackets to turtleneck sweaters. The guy, again and again, nailed the look, and that's why he's got my top spot. Now, gents, I know you've got an opinion. I know you disagree with some of my choices. Let me know down in the comments. I want to hear from you. How would you have actually put out this ranking, and what video to watch next? How about how James Bond breaks style rules and still gets the girl? Guys, find out how he does it, how he always looks good, how he always just bends the rules to his will in this video right here.